With Palworld being released on PS5 and the ongoing lawsuit, there is a lot of attention on the game at the minute. With that being said, I wanted to share some tips for new players to the game, as there's likely going to be an influx of them with the release onto console. These tips will help you to get accustomed to the style of the game and help you settle in that bit quicker without any major spoilers. Now, I am playing on PC, but these tips are definitely transferable onto the PS5 as well. Let's jump in. Starting out at 1, don't go into building a base straight away. Now, this may be tempting, but there is plenty of time to do this later on once you've gained a few levels. Setting up a base can take time, and when you're at the lower levels, you won't have access to all of the better base building items, and you won't have a large variety of pals to perform the different tasks within your base. Instead, I found that exploring has been the best way to build knowledge and levels. Quick side note, is well worth unlocking the fast travel points. You get 2 benefits from this, one being the ability to fast travel to and from the point that you've just unlocked, and secondly, you also gain an extra technology point for free, which will come in handy if you are one short of unlocking a crucial item. By exploring, you'll learn way more about the different types of pals, how the mechanics work, you pick up better items, level up quicker, gain more tech points, the list goes on and on. It makes the game more interesting as well. It's definitely less repetitive than trying to grind out materials to build a base, which then when you unlock the next level, for example stone, you'll have to replace all of the wood items that you've just put in, which is a massive pain. Trust me, I know this because I've been there. The second tip, what to spend the tech points on. So here is what I use the most when starting out. Level 1 is getting the axe and the pickaxe. These are vital to be able to source materials quickly, and you'll use them for pretty much everything. Level 2 is the pal box and the pal sphere. With the pal box, you can change out the pals you've captured for different ones. You can place a pal box anywhere on the map, making fast travel easier to and from it, and they also only require a low amount of materials, so you can build them pretty much any time as well. There are pal spheres that you can find dropped throughout the world, but being able to craft them in abundance is definitely helpful. The repair bench is a good one because you can repair your stuff without having to craft new items at all. If you push R whilst you're using the bench, you can repair all of your items at once, provided you have the materials to hand. At level 3, the bow and arrow are a must-have. They are so much quicker than beating a pal to death with a wooden club, and slightly less brutal as well. The bed comes in handy when you want to set down your base. It allows you to sleep through the night, essentially. Cloth is just a prerequisite for the next level, so definitely get that. Level 4, the common shield gives you extra protection when you're in a fight, and the cloth armor provides some defense and will stop you getting cold as well. Level 5, I've just gone with the parachute on this. In my opinion, I don't think it's that great. The only thing that it does do is it allows you to jump from almost any height without taking fall damage, as long as you remember to open it before you hit the ground. Now, those are the first 5 levels. After that, it kind of opens up a bit more to whatever you want to choose. The third tip, I would highly recommend customizing the controls in the game to suit your style of play. There are lots of different actions you can utilize with different keys. Obviously, you don't have to change them all, but as an example, I would recommend changing the sprint and the throw pal sphere to the extra mouse buttons if you have them, or change the roll button from control to caps lock. This one is beneficial in fights, as caps lock is definitely easier to reach than control. Play around with different ones to suit you. But the main benefit of doing this is that you'll gain an understanding of the different actions available to you in the game before you start, and rather than randomly pressing buttons, you'll actually know what the key ones are straight away, which helps out massively. The fourth one is pretty obvious, but capture as many different types of I nearly said Pokemon then. Pals as possible. You'll get more XP for capturing something for the first time than the same pal repeatedly. Having said that though, if you do capture 12 of the same pals, you will get bonus XP on the 12th one. There are plenty of low level pals in and around the starting area to capture. I would highly recommend capturing a Foxsparks, as their tail acts as a light source during the night time, and they're pretty good in early battles if you get the harness for them. The final and 5th tip is to invest only in a few stats. Now, at the beginning of the game, you will go through levels fairly quickly. With each level you gain, not only do you get more technology points, but you can also improve your own personal stats as well. It may be tempting to go and put 1 point into each stat, but in my experience, you are much better off putting the early levels into health and weight. Now, these stats feed into my earlier point about exploration. As you travel around, you'll come across pals that are higher levels than you. Having higher health will give you an edge in battles, as you'll last that little bit longer, which is useful if the pal you're battling is just 1 or 2 levels ahead of you, or in reverse, if you're trying to escape, having that extra bit of health might just allow you to get away. With more weight capacity, this will allow you to carry more items, so when you're off on your adventures, you can bag more of the valuable items and be able to craft more of them at once without having to run off every time you want to build a new axe. I wouldn't worry too much about work speed. I thought pumping levels into this stat would be useful, but as I got further into the game, you'll have plenty of pals to help you out with building things, and they do it fairly quickly. I hope these tips will help you to adjust to the game and give you some insight into how it works. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.